Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. I'm a BFF, John from Zaprite.
How's it going, Car?
Hey, how's it going, dude?
It's going good.
Dude, it's good to have you back in Austin. I know I say this every time. Back in Austin. Dude, but every time you come back, it's just like the old days.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I was talking to Sam recently.
Yeah.
And we were reminiscing about all the old days in the original days of PlebPoet, the original Austin crew. It was so much fun.
Oh man, I never get tired of talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it was like we were also
It was a unique time.
We were also fresh and unique.
Yeah. It was a very unique time.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And we made a ton of friends along the way.
Ton of friends,
Some
dude.
of whom have moved away.
But still
like
friends.
Myself, gone back to Ireland, but still,
Still
we all
close.
still stay close. So that's why I love coming back to Austin, because this is such a special crew, and PlebLab's such a special place.
I saw Sam too, and he also too. It's just like the same thing. We're all just like, dude, remember the old days where we would just go to Gus's for lunch? Kyle would drag us to Gus's, and be like, dude, we're tired of Gus's. Or we would just go. It was like an everyday thing.
It was great. We were scrappy, and we were just getting things done, and everybody was super optimistic. And it was a great time. Yeah. I mean, it's always a great time. It's still a great time today, but there was something special about that time for sure.
We still do that here. Like we're like me and Topher, me and Jim, or whoever. We'll all go hang out. So it's just a different group. Yeah. But it's a ton of fun. How you been otherwise? How's Zaprite going?
I've been good. Zaprite's been great. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've built a lot of stuff and released a lot of features and added a lot of connections over the last while. So that's we're doing our thing. We're ticking the boxes.
Dude, it's exceptional, dude.
Yeah, everything's going well. So we're loving it.
It's pretty flawless, man. Like,
thank you. You guys have been using it in PlebLab.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would do with like looking back on it, like life before Zaprite and then after Zaprite. Definitely a number go up kind of thing. And
well, I know you had a bunch of feedback in the early days before you even moved on to Zaprite. I think because you were like using Square and you're like, well, I need this and I need this and I need this, and eventually we just got everything in there, and then I'm glad it's all it's smooth. I'm glad it's increased your productivity.
Yeah, it's wild. Like everything's flowing through there now, and it's kind of great too. You guys have the kiosk now, so it can be a kiosk and.
Yeah,
I don't I was telling you the other day, I was like, I'm trying to think of stuff that it's missing, but I don't really know. And now there's there's tiny little things, but I'm sure you're going to get to those eventually. But for the most part, out of the box right now, there's really, I guess the question is, what sort of improvements do you see that you'll be adding without giving too much away, but other than just work? Because it feels already baked. For the most part,
I mean, there's always stuff that can make it better for sure, and that's obviously that's what every company wants to do. But there's a couple of different fronts we can do that on. One, we can just keep adding connections and allow more people to use more of the wallets that they're already comfortable with and set up with, because that's really the core of what we do. Is we don't want to force people into different setups. We want to meet them where they are. So if they already have a Bitcoin wallet or a fiat like payment processor or whatever it is, we just build the connections for that. There's feature stuff, and the feature stuff can fit into a couple of different fronts. We can do.
It's coming out. It's coming out blue because of the crazy.
I noticed that. Yeah, it's like your screen color. Yeah,
it's the eCam thing. It's green.
It's so we could over the last year, we've added a bunch of different features. For example, we added bigger features like the point of sale. The kiosk stuff that we added, like you mentioned. And then we added some really cool advanced Bitcoin features where under the hood, we built our own gap limit function. So we can actually extend the gap limit to be, unlimited, whatever we want it to be, but still conforming to the default 20, which is great. So that was a custom thing that we built under the hood. Then we added things like reserving a Bitcoin address. So if you're concerned or you want to have, you want to give the payer of your invoice a little bit more comfort, you can reserve an address and it'll put the first 6 and last 6 on the invoice PDF and stuff for them to double check before they pay. And then things like locking an address, where if you want to do a consolidation transaction, you can lock an address and tell us that don't look at this address, don't stamp this transaction into your database because we're going to use it for external purposes. So there's like advanced Bitcoin features like that, and then there's things that we can, the API webhooks, like that's a pretty big one that we added this year.
That's like massive. Like to me, I think we were able to launch Pleb TV because of the API stuff that you guys have now. So like that's why I'm saying I don't think people realize how I don't know if it's overutilized, but it feels underutilized. Like a lot of the stuff's already built in Zaprite to take advantage of if you're a developer.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people using the API and webhooks for some really cool things, and we're actually putting together some marketing materials around that at the moment. We're going to put out some marketing videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Will's working on that with some of our customers that are using the API, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
to
if you need
cool
testimonials,
stuff.
man, we're definitely open to that because, like, dude, it was.
Well, I mean, this is a pretty big one. Getting me, no, dude, like it was
pretty good. It was pretty darn good to use, man. I don't know why you would use anything else.
Yeah, it feels pretty fleshed out at this stage. Like from the, you've seen Zaprite from the early days when it was just the MVP invoicing platform, and we've come a long way. So, but we'll add more stuff like tickets. Yeah, right? People are asking for a ticketing platform, so we'll add in a tickets feature and things like that. So
that'll be cool.
We'll get there. Yeah.
What was the whole thing with the president using Zaprite or something?
That was pretty wild. Yeah, that was crazy.
There's a photo circulating online with you shaking his hand, and
I found out about that like literally like days beforehand. I was just sitting in Ireland and I got a Slack message and.
Did you have a pint with him?
Did I want to be there? And I was like, oh, heck yeah. I want to, like, so I found out about it on Saturday night, booked a flight on Sunday, and flew out on Monday morning.
Dang, that's crazy, dude.
So, yeah, first time in New York, first time at PubKey, and
first time
got
the president
to be there for that historic event. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. Yeah, it was really wild to be there and kind of witness all that happening,
so,
and have Zaprite be part of it as well.
I know. So just I'm going to throw this out there. It's very possible in the near future that Zaprite could be used inside the White House, potentially.
I could be used everywhere.
But yes, that's a great answer. Potentially, maybe he drops it in a kiosk or something. I don't know.
Look, I mean, that's the beauty of what we're building is especially the fact that it's a no KYC platform as well. Yeah. Anybody can use it. We have so many different people, all different areas of business, from freelancers all the way up to small businesses, and a lot of the time we don't even know who's using it because we don't ask for that information, right? So we rely on people posting on Twitter and Stacker News and different places about the fact that they're actually using it, which is where we find out a lot about who our users are. And as well, they hit us up with feature requests, and we help with onboarding. Myself and Parker and Will and stuff will help onboard, so we know our businesses from that too. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of people using it that we don't even know who they are or what they're doing.
That's going to be crazy because if that happens, that would just be insane.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I did not have on my bingo card this year a picture of you, John Zaprite, shaking the president's hand. That was not on my bingo card this year.
Wasn't on my bingo card.
I was like, sure. What? I was like, what world am I in? Huh? Former president, yeah. It was like, what?
And future president, yeah.
What world are we in now? Like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Bitcoin is really front and center now, particularly for this election cycle. I mean, let's not be under any illusions. Like, I don't think, Trump really knows much about Bitcoin 100%. At all or what's going on. But one of the things that's really encouraging is, what Donald Trump Jr. tweeted and Trump retweeted was about freeing Ross Ulbricht. I think that type of stuff is hugely powerful. Like that will be a momentous day when that happens. So, fingers crossed that's going to happen. So that, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Dude, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for talking about all the stuff. And
thanks for having me on,
dude.
Car.
It's crazy.
Always a pleasure.
It's crazy that it's just nuts. All the success that's happened around Zaprite. I'm always like pinching myself. I was like, is this real life? It's cool to watch, dude.
It's amazing.
It's the most amazing
I'm pinching
feeling.
myself too a lot of times to see, how far we've come in the, small, 3 years, just shy of 3 years that we've actually been
insane. Doing a hell of a job, John.
Yeah.
Doing a hell of a job, man.
It's wild. It's great. But there's definitely a shift in, I think, people's, people's perspective on Bitcoin payments, which is good to see. So
yeah, and it's such a clean design and checkout experience and stuff.
Well, there's no better Bitcoin payments platform right now. So
in my opinion,
we're in a good position to keep
the one I
compounding on that. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
you're gonna hang around for Hackathon?
Yeah, I'll be here for sure.
Right, cool.
Absolutely. Yeah,
cool.
I'm just gonna go work in the co-working space and
yeah, sounds good.
See you guys in a bit. Thanks,
right.
Car.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have Miss PlebPoet coming up next. This has turned into just a thriller Bitcoin, apparently. Sorry, Coob. Sorry, Coob. So,
chair next to you.
Our reoccurring guest star,
Hey.
PlebPoet.
Hey.
Look at that with the shades this time.
Zaprite.
Did you get a haircut?
I cut my hair.
Oh wow, looks great.
Thanks.
What do you think, stackers? Drop it in the comments. Or don't.
Yeah, everyone's been like, "Oh, you cut your hair." No one's been like, "Oh, it looks good."
No, it looks great.
No, thank you. It's okay.
No, it looks great. I
It covers my forehead.
what was I going to say? We're here to talk about your second post.
I wrote something.
She wrote something, and it's the number 2 post of the week. It's about the urban farm that's growing Bitcoin and giving food. This PlebPoet from the books and article territory, probably the most popular territory on Stacker News. September 29th, 12 comments, 28,000 sats, baby boy. What is this?
I just want to say first, I noticed you had no reluctance calling John your BFF today once you began. And you always have a hard time using that. But it's okay. I forgive you.
Hey, we'll get there.
You.
In time.
We'll get there.
In time, we'll get there. Right? I mean...
No, but also I'm surprised that... Because I put this up on a Sunday, and it still made its way in the top for the week. And so I was kind of like, hey, how about that? But I think that is because books and articles,
popular territory.
It's popular territory, and yeah, people are listening. And so yeah, this is the website for 8th Street Urban Farm. And
what is this?
Oh my gosh, it's a farm. So that's it. That picture right there, that is it. And
The
like
kid?
right next to it, the farm.
Oh, okay.
Dude, the
No,
raised
I was just
beds
like, what is
where the
going on?
vegetables are, and it's right next to that church. So the church
Is
is
this
like
in Austin?
this is in Oklahoma
Oh.
City. Okay, so yeah, I was in Oklahoma City, and I was very surprised to find that Bitcoin community there is thriving
Really?
so much. I was talking to the guy who runs this farm, and we were just kind of chatting it up. We both discovered that we were very into Bitcoin, and I was very excited about what he's doing. Yeah, so he grows this food on urban plots that is just like rediscovered use for this like forgotten piece of land, and he gives that food away
For free?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's a nonprofit farm.
Wow.
And he is accepting Bitcoin donations because he believes in Bitcoin's thesis and that it's a good thing to use.
I guess a question for you is, do you think this helps like with the food shortage that seems to be happening at some areas where around homeless people?
Totally, yeah. Well, not only that, it's like good food. Like it's good for health. So there's just like so many upsides to it. It's like rediscovering unused land. It's like putting the earth first. Like it's regenerative is what he uses, regenerative practices that replenish the soil. So that's good. It's giving food away to people who need it. It's supported by the community.
Is that him right there?
That's
Evan?
him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got to
Aw.
meet Evan, and we got to talk about, we just talked about Bitcoin and how we're both so excited about Bitcoin. But yeah, I wrote about this because it really struck me as something unique that,
Man, what a great
because this guy used to be
group of people.
he's from IT, so he has like a background in technology. That's how he first got interested in Bitcoin, but he's used his knowledge to like support this venture, which is not connected to technology at all.
Wow, maybe I'll get him on the show.
Yeah, he would be a great person to talk to.
Yeah, I'll hit him up and be like,
Super friendly, super knowledgeable guy. I just really enjoyed the time I got to spend.
so when you click on
Chatting.
Shop the Farm, what is that? Okay, so they have T-shirts.
Yeah, I think
Not yet for produce. but
yeah. I think it depends on like what season it is. the availability of like the produce that you could buy, because he has like yearly commitments for like the places he's giving it to. So he has to meet those first before he can sell anything.
Yeah, this is amazing.
But
Good
yeah,
find.
I loved it. That is happening in Oklahoma City, where I'm from, and I was just really excited to see the Bitcoin enthusiasm. So, yeah, basically that.
Got top comment from Golu said, "Poet writing a great essay. Thanks."
Thank you.
Wild House said, "Bigger post. Hustle was drinking Slurpees and eating Twizzlers with his socks off in his mama's basement before finding Bitcoin. That sounds like a good life, Hustle." Bitcoin and proof of work hit Hustle in the stomach, turned him upside down, and shook the fiat out of him. He goes, "I have a lot of homeless people in my area. Every so often I buy them a sandwich or a lemonade and I walk by. One of the guys at 7-Eleven holds the door open for people as they walk in and leave a tip. It would be great to do more for these guys, but I'm stretched pretty thin. I'm trying to save for me and my wife and the fiat chicanery. First and foremost, these guys need a lot more than Bitcoin to fix their situation. Maybe a valiant Bitcoiner like the one above will suffice." Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think so? You do think that it'll probably be a thing where more people will also create some of these similar farms?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, more than that, and this is kind of like where I conclude, like, this is what Bitcoin is for. It's shaking individuals out of the matrix and guiding them to realize their unique contributions. So I just think this farm is a unique contribution. Like, it would take a special person to realize this kind of need and actually become the person who meets it. And I think that's just happening everywhere.
Would you ever consider, because you plant, right? Would you ever
Yes,
consider doing
dude.
something like this?
Oh, I want to do it so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I would love to. I would love to, like, greenhouse space, just kind of like make it my own. And I don't know.
I don't like to make any promises, but I do think like if I ever get to a point where I can like go off and do something else, I would want to tackle that.
Yeah, like farming stuff, growing
No,
food.
the homeless stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's a worthwhile thing to tackle.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get dirty, no
Right.
pun intended, but
Yeah, it doesn't offer too many rewards except, just
it definitely
your heart and soul.
somebody needs to figure that out. Like
Yeah,
somebody needs to
no.
step up and like
It's
do
true.
it.
It's true, and like that meeting him was kind of like making me kind of grapple with that in myself. Like, what can I do that's different to address?
I feel bad. I don't do enough for him.
Right.
But
It's hard. It's a hard problem. And so just somebody finding a niche like this and just like being bold enough
Yeah.
to risk everything. Honestly, he's risking a lot to do this stuff, and it takes a lot of work every day.
Yeah, I want to see you come on the show. That'd be great.
Yep.
Cool. Well, PlebPoet, thanks for
Heck yeah.
thanks for coming on the show. You got what should we be looking forward to coming from you anytime soon?
I'm gonna write something next week about voting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sent in my voters registration form today.
Who are you voting for? Or are you not allowed to ask that? I don't vote, so I don't.
I don't know if you're allowed to ask that. I don't know if I'm allowed
Okay.
to answer that. I think that's a private citizen's.
Oh, sorry.
I think that's what you're supposed to say. I think if anyone's listening, that's what they would want me to say.
So are you going to talk about that too in the post?
No, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, talk about like why. I've already said this on the show. I think Kamala's going to win. I really do. I really do. I hate to be that guy. Like, I'm going to take I think she's going to win, and I think it's going to. We were talking about it today. I think it's going to force Texas.
No.
to secede.
I don't think so. Because I think there was
Dude,
like.
she's totally going to win. You know how many people are like for her?
No, they were for her for solidly 1 week. They were for her because it was so fragile, that support.
Dude, I want to believe y'all, but I just really think like
they were with her for 1 week. They were with her, and I was like,
it's the like worst case scenario, and the way America's been headed, it's like, of course they would do that. But I actually think if she gets elected, I actually think we'll collapse faster,
well, yeah,
which is good for Texas.
yeah.
I
Let's
don't
go
know.
Texas. Be independent.
Stackers, if
We have our own
if you're
grid.
watching, listening,
We can make it.
say I'm wrong. Convince me that I'm wrong.
By the way, move to Texas.
Yeah, you should move to Texas.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Keyan. Keyan,
Different jam.
how was
Alter ego.
how was your week?
It was a week.
Yeah, it's been a week for me too, man.
It wasn't a week. It was a strong.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was good. Nothing happened. I don't think. I don't recall anything happening.
Yeah.
But that's about
Anything
it.
Stacker News stuff? It's been a slow week too. It seems like just on the site, even on Nostr too. It feels slow.
I don't know. Maybe people are on vacation.
I think everybody's been busy working. I think
It seems the same to me, but
okay.
could be slower than usual. I don't know.
I've definitely been more busy than ever this week, but I think it's because of the time of season that we're in. It's like getting towards November, and then once November happens, everybody just goes away.
Where do they go?
Go away.
Okay.
And then the holidays come, and then before you know it, New Year. But I feel like October is the month to get stuff shipped.
Oh, I guess so. I don't know. You're an astrologer, so I tend not to mess with
Cool.
that kind of stuff. How was your week?
It's pretty busy.
You didn't say. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. We can announce some stuff next week, but yeah,
Okay.
things are moving. Cool. Let's jump into the
Excellent.
top 5 stories of the week. If you've never seen this crazy show before, it's called Stacker News Live. Apparently, we're being replaced by bots. I don't know if you listened to the. I don't know if it's here. What was it? What was it called? Keyan, do you remember? It was something
dead
bot.
internet theory.
No. Like they made like a Stacker News podcast, but it was like made by bots or something. It was actually way better
You
than
want
our
it to be-
podcast.
You wanted to look for the week.
Like, yeah, it was called Last Week in Snacker News Podcast. And I listened to it. Dude, here, let
good,
me
right?
play it for the snackers.
Yeah, I listened to it as well.
I don't know if I can play it. Oh, yeah, I can't play it in line, but you should listen to it. It's better. It's better than this show. There's a girl, and it's a really intelligent guy. So it's like, just replace me with a girl, and it works.
I see. You think you play the role of the girl?
No,
in
I
this
think I
podcast
don't play the
roast?
role of the girl.
I see. You're too masculine.
No, I'm just crazy. In the podcast,
Wait, girls
though,
are saying?
no, in the podcast though, it's actually really good. It's like, oh, and then these Bitcoiners were talking about. It kind of sounds like a crime podcast. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, the tone definitely does. I listened to part of it, and then it got just kind of repetitive, but it was good. It got me.
It hooked me.
I was hooked.
Yeah,
I was in.
Maybe we should make a crime podcast.
A Bitcoin crime podcast.
A Bitcoin crime podcast. Ooh, yeah.
I mean, there's probably enough stuff happening.
Yeah, totally. Right. You could talk about all sorts of things. Just a Bitcoin crime.
Scams.
Scammers.
Yeah, lots of scammers.
You can have a scammer of the week, right?
Yeah.
Get on it.
All right.
Anyways, yeah, if you've never seen this crazy show before, we cover the top 5 stories of Stacker News front page of Bitcoin, and you get a vote by you, the stackers. We talk about all this kind of stuff. And if you want to check out more of Stacker News, head over to stacker.news. If you want to check more about this podcast, stackernewslive.tv, I think. Is it? No, stackernews.live, I think. One of those.
Someone did that.
First top story is Graphene OS, the purpose, the strategy, and the why. This is tech territory from @final. September 29th, 22 comments, 113,000 sats. Keyan, 113,000 sats. That's crazy.
Yeah. Big monies. This was from Final, who is a community moderator for Graphene OS. They
Whoa.
write really awesome, detailed posts about releases or any questions that people have in their community forums or on Stacker News,
Wow.
also on Nostr. They'll do it as well.
Dude, thanks for coming over to Stacker News.
Yeah, but in response to Siggy's original Graphene post, I believe he mentioned
This
that he
is
would
big.
do a more detailed Graphene OS rundown, like what the motivation is and everything like that. And this is it. It's a honker of a post, but it's really great. They're a really great writer. I think they do. I mean, even for releases, they do like really fantastic write-ups, like better than any release notes I've ever seen for the most part. Anyway, it's a very thorough introduction into graphene. Not only does it cover their own, how they got into graphene and like their motivations for getting into graphene, but the way graphene approaches the problem, why, like what's the motivation behind graphene, targeting mobile devices specifically. And it's like, mobile devices are probably the most essential, most commonly used device, leaking the most data relative to everything else. And so it's not only very profitable and active or prone to attacks, it is also essential to most people's data lives. He talks about like their approach to securing the operating system, the types of threats that a mobile operating system faces, and how they think about each type of threat and what they do to mitigate it, why they're specifically on Pixel. Then they go into what else did they get into? They got into how they use Graphene OS, what motivates them to use it the way that they use it. I don't know. It's just a really detailed, fantastic write-up, and even if you're not thinking about switching to Graphene, it's worth just reading through because very practical and very just like to the point, no BS, and it reads really well for something that's basically sort of an instruction manual. So I really like. They also what did he say? He said he shared a little bit of some of the slides that get passed around by these companies that look for these exploits, and they like resell them to governments or like the customers that want to pay to exploit people's phones. And some of the exploits are like they'll pay like $5 million for like a 0-day exploit that lets you take over someone's Android phone in a way that it persists after reboots, and you still have like full surveillance of their phone. So they're like big ticket bounties on these devices. And so that's kind of what they're up against, is like attackers that are motivated with millions of dollars. And they also shared the Zaprite slides. This was in a post they made, I don't know, a month or two ago, where it described the vulnerabilities present in most phones, and Graphene OS showed up really well. Just these are like official Zaprite slides showing that they did not have some really fundamental access to Graphene phones, or as easy of access to Graphene OS protected phones as they did basically everything else. But yeah,
it's wild. Dude, I had to check this out. I skimmed through it, but I didn't actually read it. This is one I'll definitely read. The top comment was from Student of Bitcoin. He said, "Awesome, thanks for sharing. I've used Calyx OS, but this is a nudge to dive deeper into Graphene OS." We got 79C909 says, "Thanks for the wonderful post. I really enjoyed reading it and learned a lot. I have a few questions if you don't mind. You mentioned having multiple profiles. Do you leave them running concurrently? Or just one at a time? I used an iPhone for over a decade. I still have an iPhone along with my Graphene OS phone. I'll admit the transition hasn't been easy, but I think it has more to do with the iOS than to Android. Do you have any suggestions?" And then Final replied, as far as running concurrently, he says, "I use the feature to automatically end a secondary user profile when you leave it, considering it like turning it off." He said, "You mentioned that an iPhone with Signal." Final replied, "I meant that in my own requirements. I am a simple person with not a lot to target for." And then he went on to answer some other ones about legacy calls and SMS. Dude, what a post, man. I think this is... I've been saying this for a while. I think it's just the way. I think Siggy was early on this, like 2 years ago or whatever it was, and he got me to switch just by seeing his continuous post on Graphene. That was the thing that really got me switching over. I did a workshop on Graphene, and we went over... No, it wasn't the Graphene one. The Flipper. I did the Flipper workshop this year, and we went over the exploits. Dude, this is like one of the best spy devices, the iPhone. Like, you can do a lot of really cool spying with your iPhone and your AirPods and AirTags. Like, you could basically run surveillance with just an iPhone. It's kind of cool. But the sad thing about this too is like, dude, these are so easy to hack, especially with like Android and all the stuff that you can do with just a Flipper Zero. Or can you hand me that, Keyan? So you can even do it with this, which is a card computer. I'm going to do a workshop at some point with this, but with this $25 item, you can also do a lot of hacks right off. This connects to the internet too as well. You don't need like a separate module for it. And then you could just basically be running man-in-the-middle attacks with just to infiltrate your iPhone and infiltrate Android stuff just off from running this, which is $25 on M5 stack. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think these are like the thing is, your government's monitoring you. Maybe if you're a Bitcoiner, Somebody else is smarter than you. But when it comes to just regular normal people, it's like connecting the Starfi or Wi-Fi Starbucks. This is what this is becoming now. It's becoming, you're putting yourself at risk at this point. Anyway, that's my take on it. But I think having both works out pretty well for me. Any thoughts?
On what?
Everything.
Good job. I don't know. Yeah, that was a great post. And
Did you ever start up your graphing thing or no?
I know I still haven't done it.
Dude, you need to do it.
I know I'm maybe gonna take some lessons from the next post about how to achieve the right relationship with my devices.
Yeah, you should if you do it, do a take pictures and do a write up on it. That would be good for the stackers.
I'll take pictures
because stackers, if you're watching this, definitely move over to graphene. It's actually, I think it just gets better over time, and I enjoy it.
It's likely to. I wonder what the funding atmosphere looks like, or like who's funding it, how much funding they have. He mentioned in here they at one point faced a hostile takeover.
How?
I don't know. I didn't really share many details on the hostile takeover in there, but apparently the way the foundation is structured now prevents that kind of thing from happening. But it was like very early on in its life. I think it was 2012 is when they started. My memory might not be that great on that, but they said they're even thinking about defending the organization. And that's like part of their defensive strategy.
But they're a 501, right? Or are they kind of like Proton where?
I don't know.
I don't know. The less that's out there, the better, I would say. I mean.
But the less of what?
Anything. I guess the less you know about who's actually running it, as long as it's all on GitHub and stuff, so it can all be verified by developers, right? So.
Yeah. But there aren't many developers verifying code. But there's I would guess security researchers are very interested. I think that, and again, they have these multi-million-dollar bounties for breaking into.
So maybe that's how they're funding it.
OS.
Maybe they're the ones that are like doing these bounties, and I feel like there's a lot of people like that these days where they'll do it for mission.
Yeah, definitely. They get into the final gets into here what motivated them. They said they're very security, privacy focused, introvert. They don't really need it themselves, but they are just interested in it.
I mean, what do you call it? I was talking about that earlier about the farm thing. I think most.
What do you call it?
PlebPoet was talking about it earlier with the farm thing. It's kind of like where most people are. I think people will step up.
That's right.
Just in different areas.
This is like a farm.
So whether it's a farm
software.
or whether it's a thing, I think people will just step up. Cool. Yeah, that's a great post. The next top story is the third top story of the week.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah. Third one. So Decoding Bitcoin, an interactive exercise-heavy approach to learning Bitcoin. This is from BTC Illustrated, October 3rd. Bitcoin territory, 14 comments, 10K boost. Thank you for that boost. 102,000 cents. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah. So if you click on it, it's basically mastering Bitcoin, but in like a website. It's like a mastering Bitcoin, but like all the exercises are like interspersed within the actual chapters. So, but pretty developer heavy. I think they plan on expanding it out to be less programmer focused, but for the time being, it's a pretty awesome resource for learning about, Bitcoin core, Bitcoin protocol basics.
Yeah.
I think it's from the people at Chaincode, if not Chaincode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Brink.
This looks great.
From the same people that did Bitcoin Search.
This looks like it's a what is it called? Not Git. It's called Gitbook, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how they designed it, but it does have that feel to it.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's the first release.
Can other people contribute? Oh, it looks like they can.
Yeah, it's a FOSS project.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I think the more I think the more you just go out there and make a solid, it kind of goes back to what Super used to always tell me all the time. He's like, no, Car, I'm just going to go and build this thing, and somebody's going to see it and they're going to make it better, and I don't have to work on it. Like, yeah, and I think that's what I see more and more. The longer I stay in Bitcoin, the more and more I see that just with any project that even if you don't finish it, somebody will see the idea and they'll run with it.
Well, it's been happening in the wider software world for a very long time. Yeah. Operating systems and probably some of the first open source.
This is amazing.
Projects or ones that get really popular.
Would you have used this in the early days, Keyan?
Yeah.
Before you went to chain code?
Yes. I would use this today. I actually am kind of an on-chain noob still. I'm mostly just a Lightning person who just accepts the abstractions.
Look at this. Look at this. Finally, like a full-on development place to go. This is amazing. Love to see it.
Yeah.
The top one was from Coins Reporter. October 3rd said, I see the about page isn't ready yet. Is this for everyone or just the devs thing? Platform is currently targeted more towards Bitcoin developers, but we've tried to make explanations.
Yeah, I would say if someone is non-technical looking to get a little more technical, it's probably a pretty good.
Yeah. Also a good
resource.
place to do research too if you're trying to figure out some stuff. Ravener says, this is a cool concept. I look forward to it. Maybe I'll get to build my own wallet app someday. That's definitely one of my long-term goals. Art said it's been super cool supporting you as you build this. Cool. Sounds good. BTC Illustrated.
Yeah, they do great illustrated guides on Twitter and Nostr too, I believe. I think they also have a website. But there's these like simple drawings explaining technical Bitcoin things. They're pretty excellent.
There you go. The fourth top story is how to make love to your Bitcoin node. Well, when it's been a while. Really scores me. This October 3rd, Bitcoin territory, 33 comments, 104,000 sats. What is going on here? 104,000 sats?
Dude, I don't know.
What's the opposite?
Maybe
the opposite of ass milking?
Needed this reminder. Dick milking? I don't know, like what? What?
There you go.
There you go. That's the best answer I have.
There you go, Darth. That one's for you.
Scores be my. Yeah, probably. I think that's right. I got it right. No boost.
Keyan, what is this?
Yeah, so this is Scoresby. I think he might be retaining or something, but he was writing a Bitcoin guide, and it ends up being a little erotic. And
really,
yeah, get her a can of compressed air and blow her fan out a little. Maybe wipe her down with one of those special microfiber cloths. Pop the Ethernet cable in and out a few times.
Wow, this is getting into a sexy podcast.
Then plug her in and flick her power button.
Whoa.
Get her warmed up.
Wow, Keyan.
Don't rush her. Get her some time to catch up to the chain tip and refill her mempool.
Stacker tingles.
Yeah, no, it's a great way. I love a narrative or like fun interspersed with learning. And so I think people who weren't familiar with Bitcoin and Bitcoin more or less command line and network operation-y things probably were entertained enough to learn more about Bitcoin than they had before.
I'm gonna go over and read this.
Yeah, I would do it alone. Maybe light a candle. I mean, it depends on how you get down. Maybe on your balcony.
What is this? Ask her to show you her mempool. What is that? Dude, it says now it's time for things to get really steamy.
There's some great.
You've heard that there's no such thing as the mempool
section is one of the better ones.
Wow. Go down on her config file. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a PG show.
It ends pretty well. What is it?
Scoresby, this is a PG show.
You go to the end. Oh, here we go. By this point, you're probably having
What is
trouble
to verify a transaction?
preventing yourself from broadcasting a transaction.
Okay, so see, now it gets
all
normal.
over.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Pillow talk about the total supply of Bitcoin. Wow. Have you ever done that, Keyan? Pillow talk about the supply of Bitcoin?
No.
You liar.
You're right. I mean, I don't.
Dude, is there anything
tell.
better than Pillow talking about Bitcoin? Come on.
I don't know. Maybe like regular
Pillow talk.
or regular pillows without talking. Quiet pillows.
The top comment was from Bitcoin is the future. What about if she's in that stage versus... What? Bitcoin is the future said, and I quote, what about if she's in that stage of her cycle?
Does that really
And
change?
then Darth Coin comes in and says, force closed channels. It's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, she's having her IBD. Yeah.
Scoresby, you're a legend for this one. Absolute legend. See what happens when you don't focus on eCash posts, Scoresby? You make beautiful art like this. That's a compliment.
Well, man, this is him getting back to
the basics.
after cheating on.
Super Testnet said,
There's
apparently
no
I've been
big
doing it
guy.
entirely the wrong way. Oh my God. Dude, why did you share this on like Twitter? Every Bitcoiner should be commenting on this post. I'm going to go in and comment on this post. No, I don't see her in here. Ooh,
No, she might not have seen it. I
You
wonder
just,
if she has
you're
any
in
tips.
here. You just clapped. Natalia was laughing. So yeah, there's some women in here.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, at least a few.
Staggers. This might be one of my all-time favorite posts that we've ever talked about on Stacker News Live. This is all-time post.
Okay,
That's how good it is.
great.
You should have an all-time tag or something.
For what? Who would assign all-time
I
tags?
don't know. Something to think about. This is an all-time post. Like, remember the other one? There was another good all-time post. I can't remember it now because this is the only one I'm going to remember going forward. This is great,
forgettable.
dude. Did you read this? Did you get a kick out of it?
Yes, I read all the posts that we cover on the show every week. That's why we have a podcast.
But you're not laughing. Were you laughing at all?
I'm not really a laugher. I don't really laugh. I laugh on the inside.
I want everybody to. Is it wrong for me to want everybody to see this post?
When I sometimes I make fun of my wife's laugh, and she'll be like, "At least I laugh," which is a horrible burn. I mean, it's like really rude, but it's also fair.
God, this is good.
That's right.
Oh my God,
I'm just trying to
This
keep
is
it
so great, Scoresby.
contained.
Next time I see you, I'm gonna hug you for this one. This is a good one.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah.
The
Maybe
f-
wash your hands after hugging Scoresby.
I'm gonna read this tonight. This is my late night Stacker News
Oh yeah.
rendezvous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The last Stacker News post of the week is Ocean Datum. Is it Datum? Datum? Dudum?
I would pronounce it
D-Atum?
datum.
Datum. Ocean Datum setup guide. Wow, okay. BTC miner, September 29th, 9 comments, 4,406 sats. Bitcoin mining territory. When do we get a Bitcoin mining territory?
Oh, that's created by Bell Curve.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Bell curve. What is this, Keyan?
Oh, so Ocean went
look at that
about
website.
creating their own decentralized mining pool protocol. It's very similar in terms of the goals of Stratum V2. And I'm not exactly sure, and they're so similar, I'm not exactly sure what it's doing different that makes it different than Stratum V2. There's been a bit of a beef between Matt Corallo, who's one of the head concept coordinators, and I believe BTC or Bitcoin Mechanic, who I think wrote the project or was managing it or something. But same goal. Basically, miners get to pick their own block templates. And so we get back to more censorship-resistant Bitcoin mining. Because right now, for the most part, I believe probably like 99% of miners delegate block template picking to pools. And the pools are horribly centralized. There are tens of them at most. And I think 50% of the hash rate is largely one pool, one block template provider. So this is an attempt to improve that situation, and I think whether you like Stratum V2 or not, this is all good. Miners should pick. The market will decide which is better, and either is probably excellent over what we're doing now.
Got the top comment from Anon. Why not use Stratum V2? Anon also answered. Anon says it's fill a need until SV2 is ready for release. In quotes, initially we considered Stratum V2. Bitcoin Errorlog jumped in. Why not contribute to Stratum instead if there's actual intent to use it? Question mark. Anon didn't answer. I can't wait for TabConf. This is going to be good stuff.
Yeah. The major reason they cited is that Stratum V2 was attempting to build on the foundations of Stratum V1, and that prevented certain kinds of optimizations that allowed them to make while starting from scratch. I don't know exactly what that means, or that means anything. Matt Corallo on Twitter at least seemed to think that there wasn't a substantial difference, and it was just duplicate, Bitcoin, which is, strained for devs, duplicating work, which is lame, but maybe Matt Corallo doesn't know exactly what's up here.
Should be good stuff. Cool. That's all the top 5 stories of the week here on Stacker News Live. We're going to jump into my favorite portion of the Stacker News Live show. That's Keyan's post. Keyan, what's this?
This is my favorite post, but this is something I was interested in talking about because I don't know much about it, but apparently Swan has had this falling out with Tether. And if you remember a few months ago, Swan announced that they had to shut down their mining business, and then they ended up laying off a bunch of staff in their software business, their exchange business. And none of it, they didn't really explain what was going on. They tend to be kind of cryptic and opaque. Not for other people, but for themselves. And then they released this lawsuit against Tether, from what I've seen, accusing Swan employees, including their CIO, who was on Peter McCormick's podcast before it was Mr. Handsome or whatever it's called.
Obnoxious.
Mr. Obnoxious. And then they... so that the CIO apparently is involved in some conspiracy with Tether to take over Swan's mining business and steal it from them, and so Swan is suing them for that. And yeah, I'm curious about it. I mean, it's kind of interesting. What I'm interested in is, I think they were mining in Africa, is what I saw somewhere.
Okay.
And so it sounds like it sounds like the majority of the IP was there was access to this unique energy opportunity.
In Africa?
Yeah. And that might have been like most of the market advantage that was occurring there. And so it's not like Swan had special mining hardware. Maybe they did have a little bit of software optimization. Most miners do, but undoubtedly it was mostly access to a relationship with an energy provider that no one else could get, very cheap energy. and Tether financed it, and then at some point it seems like some of the Swan employees that were part of the mining business jumped ship and joined Tether to run this mining operation without Swan.
Yeah, I think for me, there's so many things I could say here. Where do I start? Actually, it's funny that you said that. Vake said, "Stay in your lane." He's been saying this everywhere, and I think that's what I've kind of noticed with this whole thing. Like, and I'm talking in generalities on purpose, right? So for the stackers listening, I think from what I feel comfortable saying is there's a lot of back channel chatter that happens in Bitcoin in the ecosystem, and then there's stuff that gets to the surface, right? And then that's the stuff that most people will read on Twitter, Snacker News, and then every once in a while there's like some drama going on behind the scenes, and sometimes that gets flung out, right, as well too. Here, I have no idea what's going on. I have no bags or any association with any of these companies or whatever, so I don't know. I have an idea, sort of, probably what's going on, but it would just be me guessing, and I don't want to do that. I think the interesting thing is that I can talk about is did you actually read the document? So I think I don't know how it got leaked, but somebody posted
I think Corey leaked it. I think,
oh, he did?
Yeah,
Okay.
they redacted a bunch of parts in it, and I think
so there was
someone
something in
released the
there, and
unredacted
the only thing
parts.
I will say to this, I'm not picking a side or anything, but you should put stipulations in place that, the non-compete clauses in there and stuff like that. And if it's not in there, there was a time when we were going to do something, PlebPoet was going to do something, and the reason we didn't is because of a certain person didn't want to have that non-compete thing, and so we just didn't do it. We just didn't pursue the endeavor. That's just for me, for PlebPoet speaking. So that's where I will say, like, if all sides can't come to an agreement on an agreement, then you probably shouldn't move forward with it or sign it. And I don't know, I don't know what side did what or anything. That's for litigation, but it sounded like the message didn't get.
they might have had an NDA and this happened anyway. I mean, NDAs are, you have to fight to uphold an NDA.
You're saying MDA or NDA?
NDA, MDMA. Probably doing some NDMA. Anyway,
I would love to hear, there's some Bitcoin lawyers in the space. I would love to hear one of their takes on it. Has Corey actually been on has he been on a podcast to discuss all this, or is he just kind of staying away?
Not for a while. I don't think so. Maybe I think he's probably done spaces. He likes doing spaces.
Okay.
I imagine him
directly to the people
on a third story of his mansion, in his underwear, overlooking his basketball court or something.
I don't know.
Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's other podcasts to listen to if you want to know the dirt and stuff. And this is not one of them because I don't know anything. But there you go, Vic. Stayed in my lane.
That's apparently it's staying in your lane. I don't know if that's
Stayed in my lane.
To the code in Texas, but
pretty close.
We'll take it.
At best, I stayed in the carpool lane. The next one up, we're gonna jump into
carpool. That's for exceptional drivers. That's for people with EVs and stuff. Car.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not that. I want to share this. I want to share this post with. This is the Wild Hustle. Apparently, Wild Hustle also sings.
What is that cover art, though?
This is his song. You can probably hear it. It's lyricless. Okay. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Lo-fi.
Lonely Strangers. Hustle's a talented guy.
Yes.
Look at this. Home. That's a home I want to be a part of. Look at that. Anyways, check it out on Wave Lake. Yeah. He has. I found out about it. I wanted to share it. That one. And then we also released our TLDR for PlebPoet Startup Day. So check it out, Stackers. If you want a quick 1 minute thing on what we did, presenter, stuff like that, check it out. It's all here. Overall, good event. I think I'm so glad that it's over with. On to the next one. And then I wanted to share this because wanted to get your thoughts on this, Coob. So I know you're a big Zuck fan.
I saw that. Yeah, that's right. You accuse me of that all the time.
He overtook Jeff Bezos as the world's second richest person. There you go.
It's cool.
Meta takeover. Look at that.
Wow.
His eyes are blue.
Yeah, his avatar has blue eyes. I mean, he's what? If you're a white person,
So,
it's like 50-50.
Apparently,
shot,
this is it. This is the
probably.
list, Keyan. This is not including Bitcoin holdings. Elon Musk, number 1.
Oh yeah, Zuck probably holds a bunch of Bitcoin that he hasn't told anyone.
You think
about.
so?
Oh yeah.
No way. You
Yeah.
think so?
His dog is called. I think his first dog is called Satoshi.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I think maybe it's a goat.
I
It
didn't
might
know
be a
that
dog,
about
but he
Zuck.
probably has goats too. I
He
think when
would-
you're that
he
rich,
would-
you
he would be into
abnormal
Bitcoin,
amounts
right?
of animals.
He would be into Bitcoin.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, he believes in freedom for.
Because he's probably in that area too. Like, so he probably has like a Coinbase account. He seems like a Coinbase guy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him getting along well with what's his name?
Brian
Who does-
Armstrong.
Brian Armstrong. Yeah, one of them has hair, one of them doesn't.
So you got Elon.
It's perfect.
Elon scamming people with Dogecoin. There you go, number 1. You got Mark
I think he's
Zuckerberg.
just having fun.
Nope,
not-
scammer.
Okay.
You got number 3, Jeff Bezos, and 4, Bernard Arnault. Wow.
Who's Bernard Arnault?
I don't know.
He's from France. Oh, he's the Nissan guy, I think. Yeah.
You got Larry Ellison. That's Oracle. Bill Gates.
Dude, I saw a video of him. He's like 82 years old. He looks like a 50-year-old man. It's incredible. I don't know what he's probably doing, like teenagers, like drinking teenagers' blood. And
Is that a thing in California?
it's I believe you can do it from anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cheaper in certain parts.
You got Bill Gates with COVID. He made a lot of money there.
Oh, you think that's where all his money came from?
Dude, come on.
I think.
We got children to feed.
I think it's all in his nonprofit, though. He's got children to feed in like an Epstein
Do the
type
research.
of way, or?
Stackers, go out there, do the research this weekend. Got Larry Page. That's Google.
He is from Google. That's where he's from.
Steve Ballmer, legend. It's all about developers.
Yes, that ruined him. On the
I actually
internet.
don't mind Steve Ballmer, actually, to be honest.
I don't like him.
I don't mind him.
It
Warren,
might just be his presentation.
Warren Buffett. He loves,
Yeah.
he loves a good DQ Blizzard.
He's that.
I like a good DQ Blizzard, too.
What?
Dairy
What?
Queen, dude.
Oh, Blizzard.
Come on.
I thought you said lizard. I thought you were
Blizzard.
Like, I love a good barbecue lizard, and I'm like,
Sergey,
what are you talking
Sergey Brin, number 10. That makes no sense because Larry Page is number 7. Weren't they co-founders? What happened there?
about? Sergey Brin might have sold more of the company. I think I think he did leave Google earlier. He's recently gone back, and he's spending a lot of time doing AI stuff there. But he did leave.
Amancio Ortega.
He also
Who's
got
that?
married, and
So
possibly
that who? Larry Page or
Sergey Brin. He got married, and
so
then
he took him down.
and then he got
Lost
divorced.
This is
got
what happens when
fucked.
you get women in your life.
Well,
Look, Amancio Ortega.
His wife is Nicole Shanahan, who is also independently wealthy as an entrepreneur. She was a Stanford professor.
Wow.
But she was the running mate, the vice president under RFK.
Amazing. Who's Amancio Ortega? You're on a roll. You're on a roll. Let's keep going.
I actually have no idea, but it looks like they're in retail. You know, who knows what that is about?
Maybe she owns the Gap or something. Michael Dell.
From Spain, though. Oh,
Michael Dell, surprisingly,
it could
number
be,
12.
what is it, Zara? That big, like, European clothing.
Oh.
Yeah, Forever 21, that Zara empire.
Maybe that's what she.
Michael Dell.
Michael Dell, surprising to see him in the top 12.
Yeah, I mean, and his stuff is the stuff he makes is great, and he's
Here up north.
he's
too.
maintained a lot of ownership of it. so.
Anyways, yeah. There you go. Congratulations, Mark Zuckerberg, for overtaking Jeff Bezos. I like Jeff Bezos, though. Big fan.
Okay, you like Jeff Bezos, but not Mark Zuckerberg.
I like him more than Zuck. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because his wife is like
No,
Latina?
I think Bezos just like he seems like a type of guy that I could ask a lot of questions, get a lot of answers from. He doesn't seem like the type of guy that wouldn't share that.
Bezos. Oh yeah, Bezos did get divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed.
He seems like a very practical
everyone
guy.
has their own.
Anyways,
Bezos?
Yeah.
Mark doesn't seem like a practical guy.
No, he seems like
What does it say about that?
I don't know. We'll save that for a different show. The next one I wanted to bring up: can you detect AI writing just by looking at it?
Yes.
And then this was Staggers got
Sort of.
involved. And Jason B, this is the one I think. Yeah, Jason B said, "This is a great post. I'll bet nuanced and complex. There are a number of thoughtful, inspiring things to chew on. It demonstrates versatility and critical thinking prevalent on Snacker News. No, seriously, I quit my adjunct teaching gig partly because the big wigs never had my back." What do you think? Do you think AI actually is spottable or not?
Yes, I think it is. In most cases, you might be able to prompt it so that it isn't. And, but I think in most cases it still is. I mean, I think code, I can tell if code is written by AI usually.
Really? Do you think that's a problem or no?
Well, it's good that we can detect it. And so that we know when someone is pretending to put an effort into something when they aren't. I don't know if it's good or bad. I think it's upsetting to me that people,
because you read all day, so you know.
It's upsetting to me that people, they're pretending that they're doing work when it's the AI doing it for them. That's upsetting to me that they pretend.
Yeah.
I don't mind if people are using AI to get stuff done, but when they're like, "This is me, I did this," and it's like not, then I'm just get kind of really disappointed.
Yeah.
Especially in something like writing where
It should be personal.
it feels like
Yeah.
it's deserving of that. It's deserving of that. And maybe you can chat with an AI to get thoughts going or a structure, or maybe. But
I think the way I use AI with writing is I use it for outline and stream of conscious thoughts. So I'll just like run, throw up on the page, and then run it through AI to give me an outline, and then go back and then put my words to it, if that makes any sense. That's how I use it for my writing. Because there's some times where I'll just be like, I want to get this point across in these 2 points, or maybe just this 1 point. And then from there, after I get like a solid outline, then I go in and create whatever it is. I'll put in like videos and like really try to make those points sing, if that makes any sense. But it's really hard to, I find it a lot more fun to use it because it gives you jumping off points. But I also find it hard at the same time because sometimes they just sit, like I'll just have an article that just sits in my Ghost blog and I won't, because I just can't figure out how to, like, there's not enough information from my noggin
do you ever
to
just
flesh it out.
I see. Do you feel like
That
it
makes
needs
sense.
to be fleshed out in your noggin before it goes down?
Yeah, and if I don't write it out, it won't. I'll just forget it. Like there was one I wanted to write about density, and I think I was talking to you about it maybe like a month ago, and I never wrote it. And I think I have like an outline for it, but now like I forgot even where I was going with that idea, and it sucks because you just lose it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a writer. I don't know about writing, but yeah, I think I'm a little bit concerned about
I'm more concerned about
People.
I'm more concerned about the images than anything.
why?
I think the images are much easier to detect than the writing, in my opinion. I actually think I think it's more harmful
Why?
than writing.
Why is that
Yeah.
harmful?
Yeah, but that'll change eventually because it'll get really good and you won't be able to detect it.
But why is that bad? Why is like seeing an image that you think is real?
Because I think it's
Is
more,
AI.
it feels more real, I guess, more visceral, as opposed to writing. Like even if somebody's copying AI, everybody knows you're copying AI, so it's not like you're not hurting anybody by doing it. But I
Wait.
think on the visual side, if you're making some sort of like crazy AI image, it could be a little bit more damaging.
I see. You think images are more convincing? A picture is more convincing
What's
than
that? What's that
words.
saying? Picture says 1,000 words or
A
something.
picture is worth 1,000 words.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's
We'll see.
true. But AI can produce a lot of words. So
Do you ever use AI for anything?
I use it for coding quite a bit. For like coding, if I'm doing something boilerplate and I'm like, this is annoying, I'll have Claude 3.5 is the model I'm primarily using when I want to do stuff like that. They're pretty great now, and like the autocomplete, it's pretty fantastic. So you're kind of like, yeah, it sucks that it'll get things wrong, and you have to know what's wrong with it. So it's not like you can do very complex things without knowing what you're doing. But
I think the other good use case is like whenever I do like a podcast and I want to create an article with it, I just run it through Cascader, and then that way I can get like the bulk of like the article that I wanted to write about. I did that a lot for like the data privacy stuff, is interview somebody, get the answers, and then formulate it into a nice bite-sized article. There's the other ways I can use it, but it's like I said, it's very hard to. I feel like with writing, if you really want it to be good, like for yourself, personal goals, like it's hard to use AI sometimes because it is so like cookie cutter.
Yeah, it just
as far as the information that
it just
spits
seems
back.
kind of cheap to me usually, and people use it in weird ways. They'll use it at the beginning of their writing, which is like oftentimes the only part that people read, or they'll use it to summarize their writing at the beginning of it, and then it just if someone is like sensitive to AI, it turns me off whenever I see that. Or someone will use it in a video description.
I don't mind the video description stuff.
I do. Because it's too wordy. It's like
Too verbose.
and it's like you put so little care into this part that I'm going to read before, perhaps even before watching your video. How little did you care about me when you actually made the video?
Ooh,
if you know this part is important to me. I feel that way about the writing too. Any writing that's AI, it's like you must not really want to like care about me much as a reader. You just want to put out the perception in the world that you're a writer. And
see, this is the stuff
I have no time for you.
This is the stuff that I love when you say these kind of things.
Hey.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's more like doesn't pass the Coop standard, if that makes any sense.
No, I mean, come on. Yeah. I don't know. It depends on what. With writing, the words and the thoughts, the art form is thinking. So you're having a computer do the thinking for you. There are certain things where the art form is not thinking. If you're like, if you have a robot vacuum your house, I'm not going to judge you. Because no one really wants to do that. No one prides themselves on their vacuuming. Maybe some people do, but most people don't. But these people are like releasing content, AI content, and they have some sense of pride around their content, and I think it's wrong.
Dang, it's good stuff. And then the final story was Satoshi identified. Apparently, it's being showed on HBO.
I think it's a great marketing scam. No,
it says identified.
Okay.
So here's the trailer. I don't know if you've seen the trailer yet, but it's circulating the.
I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of tired of just
Satoshi Nakamoto,
look at that.
the inventor of Bitcoin.
Specifically high production quality Bitcoin content. I don't need it. I want the on the ground, like shithead stuff. That's what I want.
Dude, I notice most devs don't care to know who Satoshi is.
Well, why do you want to know? What are you going to do once you find out? You can become best friends with
No,
him?
I didn't say I wanted to know, but that's just an observation I've noticed. Even Adam Back doesn't want to talk about it. Look, he's running away from him. Oh, wait, he does want to talk about it. Never mind.
Wow. It's a real moment. We're on this
look,
journey
Peter
together.
Todd wanted to talk about it too.
Peter Todd's trying to find him in
they're
a
all
cave.
Getting doxxed. Look, Samson wanted to talk about it too. Doxxed.
Wow.
So many doxxed people in this.
Maybe Janet Yellen is Satoshi.
No, she's not.
Oh.
What if the ending of the documentary proves that Craig Wright is Satoshi? How upset will everybody be? We got trolled on the whole documentary.
I don't think I'd be that upset.
Look, Roger Vere's in there too. And what's his name? That angry guy who's always angry. I forget his name. Look at that guy. I don't know, but looks so
weird. Who is that guy? He's a Narco Polka guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They're at the Bitcoin conference too. Look at that. So you know it's going to be good.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
cool. Wei Dai. Yeah, Wei Dai went pretty silent. I don't know. I think I'm happy with. I think Hal is a good. You know, what do I call it? Fall guy.
Do you think it's Peter
It
Todd?
doesn't have far to fall from the.
Do you think it's Roger?
Roger? No, definitely not Roger. Roger's not
Do you
technical.
think it's her? Oh, they have a list apparently.
It'd
That's
be
what I'm
cool.
saying, dude.
I think
Like-
it was a group. Personally, I've said this before. I think it was a group who they were talking about it a lot, and one person wrote the software, but it was a group.
Do you think
who
there's
were-
some people that know?
Yes, I do.
Wow, you say that as a matter of fact.
It's very unlikely that the person did not have at least some like social collaboration,
Yeah.
like intellectual
You
collaboration.
devs like to talk, so there definitely was a group.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely was a group. Group effort all the way around.
all right.
Probably more than a handful, I would say.
Oh, you think it's like a small union,
Small little unit
a unit?
of 7, maybe 10.
Okay,
I can see that.
enough. Yeah, like 2 pizzas.
Maybe one person was like maintaining the project. Who knows? Anyways, it's gonna be streaming. I think did they say when, or where?
I thought it was
it's on-
Netflix.
No, it's on HBO Max, but I don't know if it
Oh,
actually has a
okay.
date. I thought it was this weekend.
I thought it was this weekend too. That's what I heard.
Oh wait, 10/10. So that's
Soon.
6 days from now, which is cool, dude. I'm gonna watch it.
Sounds like you are.
I'm excited for it. I really am. I'm not just saying that. I just love this kind of stuff. I love a good documentary.
I love
documentary.
I love a good documentary, but I don't like them about things I care about.
No, I think me just
Yeah.
general. I just like any Bitcoin documentary. for the most part.
I don't know. I'd like to, but it's like sensationalizing and like dramatizing something that I like, and that I maybe
Because it just
like.
feels so like not real life.
Yes,
That's why I
exactly.
like it, because it's like totally nothing like real life.
Yeah, like the Silicon Valley show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are elements
Touches
of it where
close
you're
to
like,
home.
oh yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it this week, Snackers. Let's jump into the top Snackers of the week.
Top
Keyan.
Snackers.
Got
Lots of hiders.
yeah.
Undisciplined. Me. Look at me.
You're
Gray
there.
Ruby.
You're there.
Another hider. Rsync. 0x Bitcoiner. Satsora.
All of them.
Tom K.
All of them.
Desert Dave. The Morning Star. Is the Morning Star the sun?
I think so.
Okay. But then what is like the afternoon star? Is that also the sun? Yeah,
Are we back here again?
we discussed that
Are we
last
back
time.
here again?
It spins, bro.
That was a
excuse
great. That
me.
was a great
Sorry.
episode.
Sorry.
That night I actually watched a lot of Nova stuff.
I don't get it.
Cool. Let's jump into the top Cowboys. Giddy on up, Keyan. We're getting the. Oh, whoa! See how that's giddy up, Stackers. It's time for the top
I
top
can't get it
Cowboy
to fit
segment.
right. It takes
The most popular segment in Bitcoin. Look out, BTC sessions. We're taking over with the Cowboy segment. Yeehaw!
All right. Well, we have one in hiding. We have me.
We all know who that is.
I don't think we do. Car. I mean, yeah, I'm right up there, and I don't know who it is. Undisciplined, 117,
Bitcoin is
blockchain boog.
wait a second. Bitcoin is the future has been climbing, right?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Blockchain Boog's been climbing.
This segment is so popular; it's really hard.
Dude,
to
I
know.
love to see new, fresh people here with Cowboys. It's great. Just one day, hopefully, you are in the top 2. Hopefully, and then it's just all snaps.
Why would I ever get out of the top 2?
I'm just saying. Maybe one day you take a day off.
I deserve to be there. Okay.
Wait.
Why would I take a day off?
Wow, look at you. Maybe you miss a Sunday or something. Maybe you miss a check-in on a Sunday. Maybe somebody kidnaps you, and there you go.
Wait, this is not something to
Maybe I just
suggest.
hold you for a whole day, and you just don't sign it.
Hold me close, Car.
You just don't sign it. Pretty cool, man. You got any bets you want to make here?
I
Anybody?
have a bet that I don't know. I don't know who it is, but
I have a feeling to do
DK's off.
It's either there's 3 people on my list. It's not Darthka. We proved that.
yeah, definitely not.
But there's
Darth.
2 other people that it could be.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's hard to tell.
Cool. That's all the segments. We got some boosts. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing? I am going to be. I think my wife is going to like a conference of some kind.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to be working like usual, but without my wife present. So
Nice.
that's my fun weekend. How about you, Car? What are you doing?
This weekend, I am doing some work stuff. Probably go out and check out the scenery for ACL because ACL is happening this
You're a
weekend.
big ACL guy, huh?
No, I just like
Yeah.
hanging out with people. You know.
Do you have like a special ACL outfit you wear?
No, I just like hanging out. I like my community, Keyan. I like hanging out with regular people too,
What do they like?
not just Bitcoiners.
What do they think about?
They think about all sorts of things, like all problems that Bitcoiners don't think about.
Like what? Like what
Escape,
other-
like travel,
Oh,
like what's the latest single, like
you mean they're enjoying their lives?
yeah.
Oh,
They're enjoying their life. They talk about YouTube videos sometimes.
yeah, they really like you
They
too.
love YouTube videos, and yeah, stuff like that. Music,
That's cool.
We got blockchain boog, or I got my fountain fixed. So if you guys are at home and you're not getting comments, update your fountain. That's what I did, and it works.
Excellent.
So we got L Enhance or BTC onboard said Sats with eyes. I don't know what that is. Blockchain boog said Zap. Vake came in hot again. Vake says, "Do not deviate from your lane you occupy."
Wow, he like rephrased it. So you.
What's going on?
So it really got through.
Should we take those as threats?
I don't know.
It's getting pretty hostile on the
Not towards me. People like me.
people like you.
People like my hat.
So I'm bad cop, you're good cop?
Definitely. That's what's going on here.
Gosh.
That's the diffusion of responsibility.
Dang. Snackers. I don't know. All right, Keyan. I think this week stackers go out there. You watched Unforgiven last week. That was your assignment. The cowboy movie this week to watch is Cowboys versus Aliens. It's a great movie.
Those are like the only 2 cowboy movies you've ever.
Dude, it's a really good
Same.
movie. That's one of my favorite. I know it's kind of dumb. It's one of my favorite cowboy movies.
It's pretty
It's
good.
good.
Did you ever watch Wild Wild West with what's his name? The guy Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
You
Will
watched
Smith,
that one?
yeah.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Love that movie. Saw it in the theaters as a kid.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Dude, that was the summer of '96 where it was just like a ton of really great movies.
what
It
else
was
came
like
out in
that
96?
one, Independence Day, X-Files, Con Air, Face Off. It was like when you had blockbusters like all coming out. Me and my younger brother would go and we would just spend the whole day in the theater watching movies.
What was
It
going on in
awesome.
'96? I guess that was like that was like right when the internet was happening.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. The 90s was beautiful. 90s was an amazing time to grow up. I'm so lucky I grew up in the 90s.
I don't know. I feel like everyone could say that about their.
I don't know, man. After 2000, it got pretty dark.
I think it's just what it got dark. Like people got to the age where things began to get dark.
Dude, imagine growing up in the
Maybe.
2000s. Like, you're dealing with 9/11 stuff. You're dealing with
Yeah,
recession
but none of them
stuff.
were like in 9/11.
And then imagine growing up now in the 2010s. Like, you're a kid and like, you just see all
It's
the
not the
craziness
2010s
that's
anymore.
going on.
Oh,
And
I
yeah, and then like even the 2020s, like even more craziness going on. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like,
I do think the empire is in its later stages, but I do not.
because think about it. What do we have? Like Desert Storm. And like, dude, it was such a great time in the 90s that even our president was, doing stuff in the Oval Office. That's how great it was.
Was that great? That was like Bush, wasn't it?
No, that was Bill Clinton.
Oh, but wasn't Bill Clinton like? Was that the early '90s, mid?
That was like the most controversial thing that ever happened. But that was the first sign of like, oh wow, the
You're talking
Empire.
about the Lewinsky stuff.
Yeah, but that was like the biggest thing, and then the OJ thing. Other than that, like what else? Oh, the Rodney King riots. That's about
Yeah.
it. Desert Storm, Rodney King, OJ,
Those are kind of big things.
and Lewinsky. But dude, nowadays it's like, oh crap! I don't even want to go down the list. It's
Well, no, I
even
think
worse.
I think they actually had. I think things were they had more of these like negative big events going on back then than they do now. They're just like more in our face now, and then we don't have as much like as many good things happening at the
so you
same
think
time.
the internet ruined it then?
No, I'm saying that we aren't on the upswing. Then we were on the upswing, and so we had all this chaos going on, and we like just didn't concern ourselves too much with it. But now we're not on the upswing, and there's a bunch of chaos going on, and we have these like high resolution screens in our faces all day, and so we see it. We see the bombs leaving Iran, and Gazan children getting executed and stuff like that. So
you're saying that was also going on back there? We just didn't have those.
Yes, I think so. I think the trend of time is that we are actually less violent, having less war.
But that's completely BS now. It seems.
No, I don't think so. I think still the death tolls are way lower than they ever were
I don't know,
historically.
man. Have you seen the abortions? Like the amount of abortions that happen?
Are we talking about abortions now? Dude, it was a political topic we were already on, not controversial enough. We have to go to the.
I mean,
base
we don't have to go, but
divider.
like even that, like that's gone up too as well. I mean, yeah,
Has it gone up? Has the number?
yeah, it's gone up.
Are we just counting them differently?
No, I think it's just gone up. Like whatever your stance is, you can't deny the numbers.
I haven't looked at the numbers.
I had to pull it up, but yeah. Anyways,
What's the website? Dead.
just search for it. It's online. Type in like
I feel like I'm not gonna
abortions,
like that search result.
abortions. Like it's. I actually think it's like more of a, like the devil's in the details, right? It's like stuff that's where the stuff is really hidden. It's like requires a little bit of digging and the stuff that people aren't talking about.
The thing is, everybody wants your eyes on abortion.
Yeah, but not on the details. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Teach their own. Anyways, stayed in my lane, Vic. There you go.
Go out this weekend, stackers. Have an abortion.
Whoa.
Abort your
right.
bad habits.
Oh, that's what he meant. Gotcha. Safe. All right, Keyan.